back from Popeyes, ordered me a shit ton of chicken, came home, ate the fucking chicken, found out the fucking chicken had the wrong kind of sauce, went back, bitched at the people behind the counter, came back home, and in all that time, Sakura got murdered.
And at the same time, I'm here, and I'm wondering, you know why?
You know why we're here. We're here for that pink flavored Popeyes chicken sauce. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're calling that a spicy mayo, but like I didn't know it was pink though. Like shit.
Oh, I can't say red.
You like it's PG?
Yeah, because Danganrompa blood is pink.
Bro, that kills me to this day, bro. This game's like an R-rated game, but like, fuck. Like, the blood's still pink though. Like shit. So does that make the game PG? You never know.
I think, actually I have no fucking idea why they changed it to pink. Probably just to avoid an X rating.
Probably. I'm just thinking about the uniqueness.
I don't know.
Wait a minute. Oh, I was about to say, like, there's blood on the floor that's fucking red. But I don't think that's blood.
That's not blood.
Oh, okay.
One could see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So what would have caused her to vomit blood? They weren't talking about poisons. I wonder if that would have anything to do with it. Maybe her getting hit on the head.
That could be too.
However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. Interesting. Yes, most interesting, don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. What's this shit on the floor? Shards of glass shattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the tops and bottom sections of a bottle. So this must have originally been a bottle. There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. Figure on the floor has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. So we got two things there. What's this on the floor? Some kind of wrapper. Ah, that's... Yeah, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might calm her down a little. Find a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them.
They're delicious.
But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now they've lost all their flavor. Ah.
That's unfortunate.
That is...
Probably like fucking peppermint. I do see it so much though.
Looks like it. Could be. Same shelf full of magazines. That has nothing to do with nothing. There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. Why is it so far away from where she died? Oh, alright.
Could have happened there.
Yeah, so that's actually what I was just thinking. She probably got moved from that spot onto the chair. But the real question is, who'd be strong enough to move her?
I wouldn't be surprised if this has, you know, The same theme as the last one, you know, the accomplice stuff. But you never know.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get technical, absolutely, that could be a thing.
Yeah. Did you check the far
Chair
right?
was shoved up against the doorknob. No evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used in the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. So that could be ruled out. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room. Protein enzyme X. Looks like a protein drink and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. Oh. Yo, what if somebody spiked the protein drink?
Who would?
I don't know, but...
Because you don't even talk about that type of shit, you know?
It's just a... It's just a working theory that, you know, somebody may have spiked the protein with whatever was in that bottle that was broken on the floor. And...
I think the glass around the bottle is like where Makoto broke the window.
Well, no, so... yeah, that's the glass by the door. I'm talking about the red fragments of the bottle that was on the floor next to Sakura.
Oh yeah, true.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can, it's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me. Sakura mentioned how the Chem Lab had all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the Chem Lab.
Just a second.
But that's strange. That is. You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue glass. They must be part of the window I broke to get inside. But they aren't just scattered around the can, they're also underneath it. Why does that matter? I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. Well, alright. I'll add it. Let's talk to people.
What? Let's start with Byakuya.
But for Sakura to have been killed, she's not the type who would go down without a fight. And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right? Certainly they would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her. We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What?
Ooh.
After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she'd left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon, the Monokuma file said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying, it might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly.
Dude, that could have been either a triple team or double team effort, dude.
There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true? I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Oh shit!
Interesting.
It's around 1 o'clock right now. According to the Monokuma file, Sakura died around 12 noon, so roughly an hour ago. Was that when Kyoko and I were moving Alter Ego?
Hey. Certainly.
One more clue.
Huh? The locker's open. And there on the inside, it's a handprint.
Why?
What's a handprint doing here? Looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and it left a handprint in all the dust.
It's true.
And it looks quite fresh too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker and they left behind a little something extra. Maybe the killer hid in there until the locker room was open. Don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Why not? Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? And the locker was already open at that point.
Indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden there until after we opened the door. So what does this handprint mean? Locker handprint. There's still more? There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is how to get those figures inside the bottles. Wait, there's
So
2 bottles missing. It's no different from your standard shipping a bottle. You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside. You've never seen that? Oh yeah, maybe I have.
in other words.
So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. There's enough space for 2... Yeah, for 2 bottles.
Yeah, because all 5 main pieces. Or not 5, but 6.
Yeah. The Monokuma
So what
bottle
pieces
sitting on
are-
the shelf.
What pieces are missing?
And there's still
King
1 bottle unaccounted for.
and the Knight. Maybe that's where probably the
So I think
broken
it's-
glass we were talking about came from. Oh, did you investigate Sakura's body?
Yeah, it was the first thing I looked at.
I don't know. Yeah. What are we missing?
Store is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountains have been tampered with.
You check the shelves?
The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked room from the inside, not from the outside.
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? I think so for the most part.
So then.
Then you should probably talk with people. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave. Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's alright, I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wants to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say. Let's go. Those other 2 probably went back to their rooms. Did they?
That's who we pressing first over. Are we pressing the crazy one or the stupid one?
Ding dong. Who's there? Ah, the most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
What do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
What do you want?
You said you wanted to talk to me about something. Wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you.
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about. Byakuya already told me she had asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? Ah, I just said 2, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Pretty much. So can you tell me about it? I admit I did get the note, but I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Bye, bitch! Who's the other one? No.
Banyan Kush.
No. Yep. And after a few seconds... Yeah, actually, I just wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you. How'd you know about that? Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. What? When did Sakura tell you that? Oh, well, when she asked me to meet with her, of course. But didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note. She she gave it to me in person. She happened to mention the others, like, in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So then you went and met with Sakura? No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Definitely suspicious. The last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and they took her to the nurse's office. I haven't seen her since then. While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you? Do I still have it? Let's see. Looks like I don't have it anymore. Uh-oh. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pocket. The wrapper? Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket.
Hey, come on.
Oh, sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you'll excuse me... There's no way that's all there was to it. So I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What next?
Suspicious.
I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that... Maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. Sure, it must have come from the chem lab. So what are you thinking, Pika?
What I thinking is we got before then, like he probably has something that he's trying to hide from us. So why the fuck would? Unless it was there. But then again, like, you know, how can you trust somebody that high?
How do you do it?
I don't.
Makoto, did you have your eye in the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. She's young, though. She's actually super young. Look at all this yellow shit on the floor. Looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it, like somebody else already did. These are footprints, and they're only in front of the left shelf.
Safe to say this is not the cleanest, you know, murder ever.
Kind of you to offer. With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen. Well, let's go. Chop chop.
It's really working here, dude.
Not bad.
So just
For you, I mean. So when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me. These footprints must be...
It's certainly possible.
Makoto, are they yours? No! Okay. Let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself.
Dude, he doesn't trust you, my guy.
I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Unfortunately? But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. And these prints are really valuable. And it doesn't even add the fucking truth bottle. Ooh, another bottle. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? Looks like the bottle had a label on it, Chem C4. Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning, checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then this powder must have been spilled. Could only have been around the time of the incident. If that really is when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. If you lay out the footprints, it looks like this. When you look at that pattern, whoever left these behind went to the shelf on the left, and that's it. The prints are really clear. Shouldn't be too hard to figure out whose they are. There's a bunch of yellow powders scattered on the floor. I'd better not leave a footprint. There you go. Now we get the fucking truth bullet. One look and I could tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on the shelf are labeled the letter C and a number. So I guess I could consider this part of the shelving unit section C. Section B. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss. Isn't that kind of harsh? What, you think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world? The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suit you well. Label letter B. And A. The protein drink. There's one bottle here that's labeled Chem C9. Someone could have put it here on accident? I should try to find out more about the shelving unit. Blah 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 blah. What was a bottle of poison from section C doing in section A? Maybe I should take another look around the rec room. Makoto, I admit you have a good eye for spotting useful clues. But you also need to learn how to make use of those clues. Now we have to go back to the rec room.
Yeah, I have a real bad feeling about this.
Let's see. Anyway,
Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These three things have revealed new clues. You do well to look them over one more time.
just a second. Hey,
Don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? There's no getting around it. That's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
it's true.
That's totally normal. Then how can you...
So,
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What?
hey,
More importantly, look here. Her shoes. You see that yellow powder on her instep?
I see.
That powder is clue number 1. So, the powder spilled on the Sakura shoes, which means Sakura was the one who those footprints probably belonged to.
True. It would seem
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head.
indeed.
And there's one more interesting thing.
Correct.
Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
True.
So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. This magazine is upside down. Someone put it back that way on accident. Yeah, you're right. Word has been written in bold bloody letters, and it said Toko. A dying message? Then it would appear you found it. Kyoko, is this?
So,
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. But it wasn't Sakura. Her hands were clean.
however,
Looks like it. And she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. Because like Kyoko said, Sakura's hands are completely clean of blood. So if Sakura wasn't the one who wrote it, then I don't think it's a dying message. I think it was more a message written to throw people off.
hey,
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention and you're sure to find it. Oh, they're all different chess pieces.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. King, queen,
so,
knight, pawn, castle.
But it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer. I do trust you to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree. Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? Experiment. Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces, too.
That doesn't matter.
And that obnoxious Byaki is not here, so...
So then.
Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass.
She left her duty.
So then.
Is everything ready? Well, let's get to work.
In other words.
We're going to use it to compare weights. The pieces of glass you collected in one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact. Okay. Let's compare the weight of two of the normal Monokuma bottles. Equal weight.
In other words. So then.
Now here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now what might be? Either the balance out or the pieces I collected will be lighter.
So then.
The broken pieces are heavier. How is that possible? Just as I thought. The results of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles put it all together.
Hey.
And I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So, what do you think? It's all on you. Oh my god.
I think we kind of cracked the code on something.
Indeed.
You caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring I couldn't stay awake. Should I do it?
Because
Is it okay?
gross
Can
weapons
I? Can
and
I? Can I?
blown
Can
for
I?
trauma.
Okay,
And the amount could
then
equal
let's
to the
begin
amount of,
class
you know,
trial.
what's broken, I
You know where
guess.
to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
It's already time, but the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. Well, we're not going through the red door, at least not just yet.
Alright, let's, before going through the evidence, what can you, like, recall of the investigation so far? Or what's your understanding? What do you think so far?
We have 21 pieces of evidence. We have the Monokuma file, the rec room door, Sakura's body, all these different pieces of evidence. And the first thing that I'm thinking is someone poisoned Sakura. And in trying to put the bottles back on the shelf so that nobody realizes what happened, they put the poison chemical in the wrong spot. And the protein bottle, which the poison was put into, was left in the room. Because obviously you're gonna want her to take the protein wherever she's going. So, I get the feeling poison was the method of murder. And the whole bottle breaking was when she realized what was happening. She started fighting back, and the person had to use the bottle to knock her out so that the poison would fully take effect. But
Yeah.
it took multiple bottles,
That's what I'm
seemingly.
saying. Yeah. Because the thing is, like, the whole blunt force trauma kind of defeats the purpose of the poison, when you really think about it.
With how strong
Why
her
would you
body
really
is,
need
she
it?
would be able to withstand at least one blow.
Yeah, but it's been proven now it's more than one blow.
Right, but if you see that the person is resisting the effects of the poison or trying to fight it because of her strong conditioning, you have to do something to subdue her, or she's gonna take you out first, which defeats the purpose of you getting away with the murder if you're dead before the person you're trying to kill dies.
Okay, and I'm gonna bring you a point that, how would Sakura even realize, if she was to be poisoned? If the poison thing was actually a viable option?
Well, clearly, once she starts feeling a negative effect after having the protein, when she knows that protein doesn't normally have this kind of effect, clearly
Yeah, but
she's
she
gonna
would
think
be,
something's up.
yeah, she would be more in a sickening manner than a manner of like, oh, I'm gonna like destroy everybody who's in this room with me right now.
Yeah,
Type
but
of
you don't.
spiel,
Yeah, but it's kind of hard for anyone to know what exactly they're going to do once survival instinct kicks in. So she could realize something's up with the protein. It doesn't matter who the person in the room with her is. She now realizes her life is in danger because of the fact that she's feeling the effects of this poison. She's gonna lash out at whoever she thinks is the one who's trying to take her life, and the person has to either defend themselves or try to survive long enough for the poison to fully take effect.
Okay.
At least that's the running theory.
Also, do you have any explanation about the magazine itself, where pretty much like a particle of the magazine had like something written on it, which is like Toko's name in
Well,
blood? Like, what is that?
after Sakura died, whoever killed her wrote Toko with Sakura's blood to throw off whoever tries to investigate the case and make them think Toko did it.
So you're
Even
telling
though
me
it's already been established in previous chapters that A, Toko can't handle the sight of blood, and B, Genocide Jack will use scissors to kill people, not a bottle.
So you're almost like 100% sure, like,
It's not Toko.
This is just pretty much, it's not Toko. Okay.
It's not Toko, and whoever wrote that message is trying to make people think it's Toko.
Okay.
At least that's the type of red herring that a game like this would use this far into the game.
I guess, we'll come to the final, synopsis right now. Who would you, like, blame the finger on, in your opinion, that did this? If there's one person or more to it. I'll leave it to you.
I think there's more to it. Because I have two different walking theories. A, either Sakura planned on killing herself and asked one of those three to make it look like it was a murder to, I don't know, to try to save everyone else's life, because once somebody dies, somebody has to be executed. But if it's a suicide, would someone really have to be executed?
Would not defeat the purpose of the trial.
Well, the trial could also be Monokuma just having fun, with people trying to scramble to figure out what's going on for the sake of saving their own lives.
I guess, but wouldn't that defeat the purpose of, like, the punishment, though?
I mean, maybe, but
Because you're telling me,
keep
like,
in mind there's
the
not a
case-
lot of people left. And most of this cast I can't see committing a murder anymore. Except maybe Byakuya, but
Yeah.
Byakuya wanted nothing to do with her. So why would he openly put himself at risk when he's supposedly the most important person in the room?
Well, in your opinion, though. The most
No,
important-
that's his opinion. And you can't tell me it's not. Especially after the whole 1% versus 99% bullshit. He calls himself
the
the
other-
chosen one, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I get it. He's a prodigal son. But,
So either
Yeah,
it's a suicide by Sakura, like Sakura killed herself and did all this other crazy shit to make it look like an actual murder when it was a suicide, or someone or two people work together to kill Sakura.
and the two people would be...
I don't know. I can't. I don't have a name for you right now because there's still a lot of information that I haven't figured out yet. I just have working theories.
Alright. I guess,
I
do you
don't
wanna
think
know
it's
what the back-
Byakuya. I don't think it's Toko. I don't think it's... Actually, it could be Mr. High as a Kite. But he's scared stiffless of her, so he wouldn't want anything to do with her either. It wouldn't be Makoto because this game doesn't have the balls to make the main character the one who killed someone.
And also, we're viewing everything that he does. So that would be a cool ass twist. I would say.
It would be.
And
Kyoko, it's possible it could be her. But Kyoko was with Makoto when it happened. That's the problem.
honestly,
And I highly
think
doubt
so,
it would...
Huh?
The only other person it could possibly be is
Yeah.
Swimmer.
And would you actually have any suspicion on her, or no?
No, but it's just process of elimination. But there's only two people, or technically three,
Yeah.
that would have any kind of reason to get rid of Sakura. Byakuya wouldn't get his hands dirty like that. Other people can easily be hired for that. High as a Kite is too afraid of her to do anything. And Ao is the best friend. But
Right.
the best friend
Yeah.
might do it just to end Sakura's suffering.
Which is my whole idea going into this, because when you really think about it, who could even elaborate the whole poison thing better than somebody you trust the most? Because you would never see it coming. And she's so adamant about, it's Toko, it's Hiro, it's, Byakuya. What makes it so certain that it's them three? When you really think about it. Because when it comes to these trials, it could be anybody.
they were the three people that were the most vocal against Sakura.
And it'll be the three that's the most, suspected. And usually, the most suspected ones are, ultimately what I can see.
I feel like there's something missing though.
Ultimately, what I see is the ultimate betrayal, which is kind of like, if it's the ultimate betrayal, like that's some deep shit right there,
Yeah, but I can't help
there are,
but...
yeah.
The
only thing,
You finish.
I was gonna say, don't really fathom the fact is why would she do it or what's her motive, but you can't tell me there's no way in hell she couldn't do it, which is what makes her could be on the chopping block at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, it's true that she would know the most about the chemicals in that room aside from Sakura.
Yeah, exactly. And where all the good stuff is, and
But with how labeled all the chemicals are, anyone could just look at the labels and figure out what's poison and what's not. Granted, they might not know what each poison does, but they could see, ooh, poison, I can use this.
That is true, but
I just can't help but get the feeling that something is missing, and I don't know what it is. It may even just be me overthinking this, but we're on chapter 4. Nothing should be straightforward by chapter 4.
Exactly.
So
shit actually intensifies.
I think something's missing here, and I don't know what. Because we didn't get a lot of time to investigate.
Yeah, but would you say something right in front of us, or something out of left field?
Out of left field.
Okay. We'll keep that in mind, I guess.
But ask me what is out of left field, I couldn't tell you. I get the feeling that there's something the game isn't telling us that they're gonna reveal during the trial that's gonna make you think the complete opposite of everything that you and I have been saying this entire time we've been talking.
Yeah.
And it's either gonna be, oh wow, that's a cool twist, or what the fuck were they thinking? But
pretty much.
We'll see.
Well, pretty much, but for the viewer's sake, if we can get one names from each of us. You didn't even really say your name, but if you could just say one out of the blue, who would it be? 'Cause we've been doing that.
One name out of the blue?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Sakura Suicide.
Okay.
The cast is getting too small for there to be a normal execution. So I think it's going to be revealed that Sakura killed herself, but because there must be an execution for the sake of Monokuma's entertainment, he'll find a creative way to get rid of Sakura's body. And that will be the punishment.
Damn. That's some brutal shit right there. When you
don't ask me why, but I just get the feeling that is a route they could go.
And any other routes kind of, non-existent to you right now.
Not that it's non-existent, but just Sakura Suicide is the route that most of the evidence points towards, especially if poison is a thing. She also knows a lot about the chemicals that are in there. What's to stop her from poisoning her protein, doing all this other shit to make it look like somebody killed her, locking herself in the room, and then after the rest of the crime scene is set up, then taking the poison and sitting in the chair so that she dies? Because she can clearly survive a blow to the head. She's strong enough.
One clue that I saw in the locker room That is all.
What? Oh, the Toko message?
No, the locker room.
In
They
other
go
words,
through evidence.
the room that she died in. No, she died in the
No.
rec room. Locker room,
Right.
locker room, locker room, locker room. Oh, the locker handprint. That's in the rec room!
Yeah. But who would be in that locker? Because would it be Sakura? There.
I mean, that could also just as easily be... She put some of the powder on the locker, put handprints on it to make it look like somebody, did that during a struggle. Just to add confusion.
Maybe.
I mean, there's a couple of different ways this can go, absolutely. But I'm just leaning more towards Sakura suicide.
Alright. Let's fucking do it.
We are gonna do it in the next episode of Inhale My Danganronpa. The investigation is now over. The broadcast will be stopped, but we are gonna come back in 1 minute or so and we are gonna broadcast the trial for Chapter 4.
Oh yeah. Episode 33.
I am Silver, he is Pika, and this episode has been brought to you by Popeyes. Go fuck yourself, Chick-fil-A!